Dun dun.
Are we gonna start everyone off by doing the score?
But come on, man. We got
Good
Mission
God.
Impossible and Jaws.
Dun, dun.
There you go.
Dun dun.
Dun-dun.
Mission Impossible. Is the next Mission Impossible gonna be a going against a shark? As a villain?
I love it.
The one creature that can, because
Is it the sharks with lasers on their head?
with freaking lasers on.
I'm
No,
Dr. Evil.
Tom Cruise was in Austin Powers.
He
3,
was,
though.
yes. That's why the
He plays Austin
reference is
Powers.
relevant, okay? That's why it's relevant.
Well, what are we here for? Oh, what's this podcast called? Welcome
I
back.
forget. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Have
That's
You
it.
Seen It podcast. I'll just do your job.
Thank
I'll just
you
do it
so
all.
much.
Let me
I
do
appreciate it because honestly, there are times where I get tired of doing it. So take it over.
But today we are here to review the OG summer blockbuster, the movie that made people scared of their bathtubs. This is the real one, the realest of them. You got a
Scared of the
question?
bathtub.
Nope, I'm
front.
waiting. Sorry.
We
got
are
excited.
watching. We already watched it. Now we're gonna review it. Jaws, the classic, the
Yes.
1975, directed by Spielberg.
Now that you got the title out of the way, real quick, and the director, thank you for that. Wild Waves is doing a viewing with Jaws at 7 p.m. on August 10th.
Oh, really?
Are you guys down?
Is it gonna?
I've always wanted to watch Jaws in like a giant pool.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it
yeah,
is.
that is cool.
It's their giant monitor. And they're
That's
gonna
what I
do
was
it
right about
August
to say. I'm
10th.
like, I would do it if it's in a pool because,
It's in their wave
and I would
pool.
only do it if they paid someone to go around and like tickle feet while they're doing it and stuff. Yeah, just
kind of like in the movie.
just to
Those
scare
little
the shit out of
bastards.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yes, yeah, I'd be down for sure. That'd be awesome. But anyways, we're
I
here.
know. I actually really wanted to do that.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome. But yeah, we're here to talk about Jaws,
Yes.
the best, the original summer
best.
blockbuster, just the movie that made everyone just hate sharks.
And the iconic poster.
Oh, the most easily the scariest and most simple poster, I think, to me, and the most recognizable.
It's a travesty on the podcast. You can't see, but we have a Jaws poster.
Yeah,
behind
I'm
us.
sure you've seen it.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the poster.
I'm sure
Unless
whoever's
you-
listening, you have seen this. But yeah, it's the original though. What did you say it was made for $9 million? And
Yeah. Made over
400 million. That's the
470.
first summer block. That's
Quite the turnaround.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
97% on Rotten Tomatoes as well.
And let me tell you, this movie holds up. It's 1975,
up.
and even that, because even acting, when you go back to old movies, acting is dated to the
Yes.
date it's in. But this
Yeah.
movie, even though it's super cheesy, the shark is made animatronic. It's very simple how scary it is.
Right.
But
And it still looks good, in my opinion.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah,
because
still-
they knew, and Spielberg had the foresight to know that this shark looks like shit.
Yeah.
And like that was the whole thing. Like they knew that this shark, but they use it perfectly. And even when they use it close up, it's still enough where it's.
Right.
But this movie is very scary.
And what they did is they built the suspense throughout the movie. They didn't overshow the shark. They showed glimpses
They
of
don't
the shark.
show
the
Jaws.
fin.
They don't
Yeah.
show Jaws until like 20 minutes before the movie ends.
Exactly.
Which is what you do when you have a cartoon looking shark.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, and this movie, it's crazy because every time I go back to it, I just forget how violent it. This movie is PG.
Yeah. Blew me
PG,
away.
yeah.
Every
Just
time
the
I'm like,
blood
Quinn's
alone.
Quinn's death alone
Body
is
parts
enough to make
floating and
it
whatnot.
a rated R movie. I mean, but yeah, PG. Crazy.
Well, you're talking about the gore even with the woman and the arm and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, gosh.
yeah.
Floats to the bottom or whatever. Yep. Dude, this movie actually scared the shit out of me in one part that I did not remember. When they go check out that fishing boat that's just laying and he goes underwater. And
Yeah, I love
looks
that
up
scene.
into the hole
Yeah.
and then the dead body falls out. Freaked me that fuck out.
Yeah,
I was like, oh God.
for real.
John Williams' score for this movie is so fucking. It's so simple. It's ridiculous. But,
Who's John Williams?
he
Never
might-
heard of him.
What movie did he do? He did another
what was that movie?
What was that set?
That movie that shall not be named?
They're not very good.
Oh, I think it was Star Trek.
Star Trek. That was it.
It's a
Yeah.
Trekkie. That's right. A
But
famous
anyway, what were you
Trekkie,
saying about the score?
But anyways, that it says it right here, but I knew before this that he showed Spielberg that dun, 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 and Spielberg just laughed at him because it's too fucking it's too keys on a keyboard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so, and like you said, it's that build up, that dun, dun, Without you even seeing the shark, you feel like getting closer as the score. But everything about this movie, like I said, is amazing, and the acting is still amazing.
It's incredible. The whole thing. Have you guys ever went to Universal Studios and did the whole Jaws experience?
Oh, of course.
You never did?
Well, it's the tour, the Universal Law Tour, yeah.
You never
Never
gone to
been
Universal?
there, never been
oh,
Disney
they just
World,
took it out. I hate to break it to
Disneyland.
you.
Did they?
They took it out like 2 years ago. Yeah, they're done.
I went.
Or a year ago.
I went.
I'll Google it to
I went
double-check,
June
but-
16th. I'm very disappointed to hear that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they took it out.
What did they replace it with? That's the best part.
Well, they took out the Back to the Future ride a few years ago, too.
Well, they replaced that.
It was July 4th in Amity, home of the classic Jaws ride, but on July 8, 2014, Jaws replacement will officially open as Universal Orlando's debut.
Harry Potter
Diagon?
World.
Oh, Harry Potter. Yep.
I swear, when I went, it was. I thought it was still there for sure. I mean, because Diagon Alley, the Harry Potter land isn't even near.
Did you go to Florida or
Universal
California?
Studios, California.
Well, I think California still has it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I don't give a fuck about Orlando. Why are you telling me this bullshit?
Orlando's the big one, man.
Orlando's not the real one where they shoot the movies, though.
That's true.
I don't give. Yeah, I'm there for the movies. I'm not there for the fucking rides. I want to be in it.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Anyway, I love that. That was my favorite thing
I love
as
it
a
too,
kid
because it scared the shit out of me.
Okay. Do you guys remember the first time you watched this movie? How old were you? Where were you at?
Christ, dude.
I think I was 8, and I think my dad showed me it. And yeah, because my dad loved doing that shit, showing me. But yeah, I don't know. This is a movie that I feel like I grew up with. Like I always saw this movie.
Yeah.
Especially because they always played it during the summer, and they did like I don't know, but
Ironically enough, I always told you guys how strict my parents were when I was a little kid, right?
just
I was
watched it
probably
yesterday.
no. That's actually funny. They just allowed me to watch this movie yesterday. I thought it was amazing. This is great. No, but
The Spielberg guy, he's gonna
yeah,
be
he's
good.
good. I was like 7 or 8, and I visited my Aunt Joanne in Seattle. Shout out to Aunt Joanne. And my mom saw the rating for this movie at PG and allowed me to watch it. And I'll never forget how horrified I was, but I loved it. That's why sharks are my favorite animals, because of Jaws. Still to this day.
well, that's what I think a lot of people, because they see like, 1975, how bad can this be? You know,
Right.
How real is it going to be in 1975? But
And I think that was my
It's
mother's
scary.
process too.
yeah, like
She was
yeah.
mortified after the fact. But
Like I was telling you before, my cousin was in the room. My little cousin, she's a girl. She's like 6 or 7, but she just wouldn't shut up. Just keep talking. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get this kid to shut up. So I put Jaws on. It was like the last 30 minutes because we had to watch it.
Yeah.
She was glued to the screen. But
Perfect.
but she wasn't like scared. She thought it was really cool or whatever. She was interested in it. But yeah,
And
If
that
you wanna
says,
shut
and
it.
that says something too with these kids and watching these movies in modern day. For them to be intrigued from a film from 1975 says something about Steven Spielberg's
Oh yeah,
style.
absolutely. I think you can put this movie on because I mean, if you want your kid to shut up, put this movie on.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and let him watch the last 20 minutes when fucking Robert Shaw gets eaten alive.
Then take them to the beach and they'll never say another word again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. This movie, I felt like I've seen it so many times.
Yeah,
Oh, so have
I
I.
honestly can't even remember the first time that I've watched it
Yeah.
because I've seen it so many times.
But I know that it left an impression on me when I first saw
Yeah.
it, and I know that because I think you show anyone this movie and they're gonna be scared of the water, fucking lakes or anything.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Still to this day, I
Yeah.
think about sharks whenever I get in water all the time.
The writer, because this was originally the book, he said he to the day he died, he regretted writing the book because of how bad of light, and he spent
Right.
the rest of his life
Being a shark advocate.
yeah
because
for
of
the rest
this,
of his
yeah,
life
yeah.
yeah. But that's kind of fucked up because it does put a really bad light on sharks.
It does.
Because it
and
shows
it's unfair, too,
Yeah.
because sharks are not like this.
because you
Like-
see this movie and they're like, oh, this thing's fucking bloodthirsty.
Oh, yeah. All it wants to do is just murder humans.
And it gives you, and again, this movie is so scary because it gives you no reason for why the shark
Nope.
is there. It's just
None.
there. and
It's just there
yeah,
hunting. That's it.
wreaking havoc on
Yeah.
people. But it's
And
really
how many movies did this spawn of?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
spin-offs.
Oh, yeah,
Of
for
not
sure.
just Jaws, but
Any
we were talking
movie-
about earlier,
yeah.
like Deep Blue and all those.
Not
you
only
know?
that, But
It started
think
a
of
trend.
how often it is referenced in other things.
Exactly.
Other movies, other TV shows.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
All kinds of shit. It's amazing.
it really is. It's one of the iconic films.
It's like one of 4 horror movies to ever be nominated for an Oscar.
Well, yeah.
Like that is crazy. Yeah, it's definitely, everyone knows it's iconic, but it is. I mean, you still hear about it 40 years later.
What's crazy is that I watch it and do not recognize any of the people from anything else I've ever seen.
What, you don't recognize? What's his name? Who played the marine biologist? He's in a ton of Spielberg. Have you ever seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind? What? We got to review that. He's in a ton of Spielberg. I'm gonna be pissed about Richard Dreyfuss.
That's the only name I recognize, but I don't recognize his face from this movie.
He's still kicking. He's in a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah, he's still kicking. He's one of the few ones still alive, actually. From
Close
this
Encounter
movie.
of the Third Kind is one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, well, most of these people are dead.
Well, yeah.
No, but I've seen a lot of 80s movies and stuff that I would have thought that this big of a movie, but
Would it
I mean,
have a star-studded cast?
Same thing happened with Star Wars. I guess the only person who, until like recently, really the only person who made it out was Harrison
But
Ford.
Yeah.
these people, besides Richard Dreyfuss, but who was popular at the time, but all these other people who got like Shaw and everything, those were all really well known, actors,
Well,
like huge.
Wasn't the fisherman from this movie actually a fisherman in real life?
No, Robert Shaw. He's a famous. I don't know if he plays Quint, but he was in a ton of stuff. A severe alcoholic too.
Yes, he was.
They were really worried signing him on because of how. But apparently, when he gets first introduced, when he does the claw trick on the chalkboard or whatever, apparently his first take he was just drunk and he did it horrible, and he came in the next day because he's like, let me do it again, and he did it the first take the next time, and it was his perfect one. Yeah.
Why, according to that, it caused a lot of tension on set too because of his drunkenness.
Yeah, apparently I've always heard that him and Richard Dreyfuss never got along or were always at each other's neck, but
Right.
apparently he says that wasn't true, But yeah, you stay for the giant, or you go for the shark, but you stay for the acting. The acting is amazing. Robert Shaw, that speech he gives when he's talking about the U.S. Indianapolis is still just one of the best. It's
Great.
It's so freaky, him talking about it and him talking about all his friends. And when he starts talking, you're just glued to it. But when he's talking about how everyone was taken one by one, 6 at a time. It's crazy.
It's a very intense scene.
Yeah, it's one of the best speeches in any movie, in my opinion.
I totally agree with you there. Totally.
And you can even tell, I couldn't remember, but it was something like Richard Dreyfuss didn't know, or he was supposed to react in a way, but like when Robert Shaw, the actor, started talking, he was just glued to it. Like he couldn't say his lines or anything. He just stood there and talked to him. But yeah, all his Quint, who's the fisherman, he steals the show for sure. And when he gets eaten, he has the best death too.
Yeah, he does.
He does not. Sure. He does not go down with that. And he's such a badass. When he goes in, when they first introduce him, and he's like 30,000.
Yeah.
And they're like, no one's gonna do it. And he's like, you're not gonna catch this fish.
Yeah. And sure enough, he didn't. And then he drove past in that big boat.
Yeah.
When they thought they caught the shark, and he just was like smiling and laughing. He's like, "That ain't the shark, my friend."
Because remember, he's telling me,
he hunted him for years.
25 footer. He knows immediately like how big it is and everything. Such a badass. Apparently, I heard that the sequel was supposed to be about him on the U.S. Indianapolis, and it was supposed to be like a prequel, and it was all about him like fighting off the sharks, which I would have loved to see.
Ooh, that would have been cool.
It was supposed to be him when he was young,
Yeah.
And yeah. I think that you could still do that. Let's talk about the mayor. Who's the original shitty mayor.
My God.
Because now, mayors are always kind of shitty. But this is the first one to really do that. And he is the shittiest of shitty.
He's
terrible
human
Don't close
being.
the beaches.
He does not care at all, no.
I don't care how many kids are getting eaten. Do not close those goddamn beaches.
All that matters at the end of the day is the bottom line. If you get what I'm saying.
He did not. Yeah, man. How many deaths were on that guy's hands?
All of them?
I wish. Believe me, he stayed out of it. I love that scene when he goes to the beach and he's like goes up to that guy. He's like, "Go in the water."
Get in the water.
And he's like,
Yeah.
I just put on sunscreen. He's like, "Get in the water." And he's
It's like a
he's
threatening
so
demeanor.
hesitant. Yeah.
Jeez, man, calm down.
And then they all go out, and those fucking kids, after two
R.I.P.
people have
that
died.
one kid.
Yeah.
I know. And then that lady has the audacity to slap the guy. The main guy, what's his name?
Sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff.
Yeah.
Slaps the sheriff, and it's like, dude, it was the mayor's fault, not his.
Yeah, he did know about it, though, and he didn't say anything.
That is
or
true.
Whatever, and
But
that's-
the mayor's more shitty than
Oh,
the
the
sheriff.
mayor is the biggest piece of shit. Yeah. Roy Scheider.
How about that opening scene, though? I think that is one of the best opening scenes and one of the most like scary, intense opening scenes.
Sets a bar,
ever.
and it's so quick,
sets
too.
the bar.
It's so quick,
Yeah.
yeah. Just one, like a gulp.
Yeah, exactly.
No, like-
but just dragging her around
Yeah.
like that, I was like, gee, I mean, realistically.
Oh, yeah,
it
when
probably
she's trying to
wouldn't happen.
hang on to the dock.
Yeah.
Or not the buoy.
The buoy, yeah.
And the guy's just drunk on
Yeah,
the beach.
passed
Just-
out.
There were a lot of tense moments in this movie, though. The dock scene, too, that was probably the most tense.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
I was like, he's dead.
Well,
He's
yeah,
dead. The
that's
first
what-
time I watched
Yeah.
this as a kid, I'm like, he's
Like,
dead.
He's dead.
Barely got out in time. That's a great scene, though.
And
It
that's
really
what-
captures that.
And that first scene sets the
intensity.
bar so hard. And then every scene after that, every time someone goes in the water, you're like, fuck,
do
what's
it.
gonna happen?
Yeah.
And Spielberg does so good at causing that tension to where like he focuses on the kids all the time in the water, like the swim team, and like,
Yep.
and you're like, oh my god, these kids are.
They're dead.
You can't keep
about
them
to
out
watch
of the
a
water.
massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like the kid going on the sailboat or whatever, when like
Yep.
when the dad like, because Roy, the sheriff, you know, he fucking hates the water. He's the only one. Remember, he's like definitely afraid of it for
Right.
some reason, but he's the only one that wants to keep him out. Even the mom was like, "Let him go," and then she described it. And she's like, get those kids out of the fucking water."
She's seen the pictures of the shark attacks.
Yeah,
I think,
that was it. And she's like, "Get him out!
Get
of the
out!"
water." Yeah,
Yeah.
he's great. Their whole relationship was awesome. Was really good in it.
This is a interesting tidbit, which we talked about off air on the pod or before the podcast. But the Jersey Shore attacks of 1916, the sequence for the
Yeah,
attacks
were similar
to
yeah.
to Jaws, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I
Well, I think that's probably where he based the novel off of. I don't know. I don't have any.
well, I would
background
assume
to
so.
say
Yeah,
that, but-
yeah.
Yeah. This movie was not. No one really thought this was going to be a good movie.
No,
I don't even think, because I know the first day they filmed, like they put the shark in the water and it sunk straight to the pool.
they
or
had a
whatever.
lot
They're
of
all, like,
technical
panicking.
problems
Yeah.
with Brucey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was so heavy and like it wasn't designed for water.
No.
I guess,
Yeah, I
which
guess
is
not,
a weird
no.
thing to make a shark that can't go in the water. But they made it work, and it just really shows you the power of storytelling when you can make something, especially when we can see something with a $200 million budget and it
Yeah.
be total shit.
Shit, terrible, awful.
When this thing had a shoestring budget, a fucking shark from 1970 where they didn't even have cell phones yet.
And
but they
you're-
still make it, yeah.
And hats off to Steven Spielberg, because he was a young man at this point in his career.
Yeah.
A young man. And he had the scrutiny and the pressure of trying to get this movie together. The shark wasn't working. They were behind in production.
Yeah.
And he pulled off one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, that's
Like, that's
know.
what solidified his career.
for sure. That's
this movie.
And was prime Spielberg. That's
Right.
Spielberg where it just seemed like you could throw anything at him and he could just somehow unravel this fucking masterpiece. But it's if you want to go back and watch just prime Spielberg, it's those where he can make anything out of anything. But
Well,
it's
he
storytelling.
proved that in
yeah.
1994 when he did what was it? I want to say Jurassic Park,
He
and
did
then
Jurassic Park in
Schindler-
'93, Shawshank.
Yeah.
Or not Shawshank, but
Schindler's List.
Yeah.
the same year or
Yeah.
the following year. It's like simultaneously he was working on both.
Yeah, but
That's impressive.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Be able to bounce back and forth.
Well,
like
you
that.
guys, if you guys
made
never seen
two
Close
amazing
Encounters of
films.
the Third Kind, that's Spielberg's best movie.
Best movie.
Best
wow.
movie by far, or in my opinion, 100%. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's got Dreyfuss in it. But yeah,
Is it on anything?
I don't know if it's on anything.
Speaking of Richard Dreyfuss, his character must have had the biggest balls in the world to bring back that scene where you're talking about, where he jumps in the water, knowing that the
Yeah.
shark had attacked that. Well, maybe not necessarily knowing, but knowing enough, knowing of the shark.
Well, that was
Jumped right in the
That was
water.
kind of his whole character development, where he was kind of this rich rich boy or whatever that had everything handed to him.
Yeah.
But he was, and that's where kind of him and Shaw, like, because remember, him and Shaw didn't like each other or whatever. But then when I really like that scene where they're showing scars and everything, and then you kind of get that, he's not big as pussy as you think. He's kind of crazy. And he is, in the whole thing, he's like right there front and center trying to get the shark, even though he knows that this.
And we'll go back to the mayor. When he dropped the shark tooth, I was like, no! Because then the mayor's like, well, where's the tooth?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, do you really need the tooth? This is a shark expert. He knows what he's talking about, you idiot. And then...
It's like, probably just take his word for it.
Yeah, I would assume. All that guy cared about was money. Who elected that jackass? That's what I want to know.
That's classic mayor. That's classic mayor. That's classic 70s mayor. God. That's what they looked for.
They started that trope in 1975, and it has
absolutely
smooth sailing since. No pun intended.
But absolutely. But I like that scene a lot where they think they caught the shark, and then Dreyfuss is like, "That's not the shark," and everyone's just so happy. Yeah. They're like, "All right," and that's a very tense scene because you think that you're gonna open it up and it could be the fucking kid's gonna fall out.
And he said that, he goes, "I don't want you to open this up and see the boys' parts down on this dock." It's like, yikes.
But
I love the homage that Universal Studios, going back to that place, has to that specific scene where they have that shark hanging up for you to take a picture with.
Yeah,
I love that. Too, it's great. Because every time I think of that scene of the shark that they thought they caught, and then you go on the ride and you see the real Jaws attack you. Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I feel, because I've seen this movie so many times that I'm kind of jaded to it, but like when that first reveal of when it shows Jaws and he's just fucking the size of a boat.
Massive.
Yeah, and he always does, the famous line, well, we're going to need a bigger boat or whatever, but he's just a monster. When he takes a bite out of that fucking boat, he chomps the boat. He's a giant.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys see that video of the biggest great white they've ever found?
They just saw,
It's pretty darn close to Jaws size.
I say it could be probably the same size, because
it was huge.
But I like just how fucking ambitious Spielberg was with this. When he's like, make this shark just fucking comically big. Just make him as big as a fucking whale. And there's no chance they were going to fucking drag Jaws. I love that buoy part. I love every scene in this movie, but I love that buoy part when they're shooting and he just keeps going under.
He keeps going under.
So goddamn strong.
Can't go down with 3.
and Quint's not 3. Not 3. Yeah.
You know how strong you got to be to do that? To keep a buoy, just one buoy underwater for that.
Well, just think about having a life jacket on.
Yeah.
You can't go underwater with a life jacket
Perfect
on.
example.
Yeah.
But
that is a perfect example.
Yeah, it's
nuts. That's a strong
you
animal.
need it.
Can't even hold a foam noodle underwater.
Yeah, I have difficulties most days.
Most days, like you try it every day.
Unless you just
at least 5 days a week.
Yeah, but that's true. And it barely showed Jaws there or whatever, the shark, but you just know how fucking powerful it is just by knowing that. Not 3, not 3.
Yeah. I love the famous picture of Spielberg in Bruce's mouth.
Yeah.
That's a great picture. The black and white one.
He named him Bruce after his lawyer.
He did, yeah. Because lawyers are known to be
sharks. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, great. I love every scene in this movie. It just scares me shitless. Even going into a lake, I'm scared because of this guy. I don't know what's in there.
I don't know either. I can't see the bottom.
Not risking
I don't know.
I'm not risking it.
Nope.
This thing was a killing machine. And I know the fucking mayor's not going to close any beach around here.
Of course.
Yeah,
Hell
people
no.
are going to keep getting eaten.
Terrible. Yeah, okay, so I don't know what the population was in 1975, but it had to have been less than 300 million Americans, which is what we are currently at.
Yeah, we're at like 362.
Yeah, 67 million people went and saw this movie.
Yeah.
67 million.
Well, you just gotta think, seeing this movie,
everyone.
This movie came out and it was unlike anything that's ever come out. It was violent. I mean, we talk about it now, but I mean, growing up, you're ingrained with Jaws. Everyone,
right? Everyone.
I don't know a single person. I mean, even if you haven't seen the movie, you know what Jaws is.
Yeah.
You say Jaws and you think a big fucking shark. But again, I mean, yeah. But being there when it first came out. It's seriously, I say it made people scared of the bathtub, but people did not go to the water after this.
Right.
Like the ocean, it made it like a big problem. And that's gotta be crazy to have that kind of power over the world from something you made.
From just one movie. Yeah. It really is insane. How many mortified parents were bringing their children to a PG movie, thinking it's just PG, and having their 6-year-old daughter watch this movie? I mean, I know your cousin's a different story, but you're talking 1975 before these kids have ever seen anything. I mean, a lot of beach trips were canceled after
they
this
only
film.
had a PG and then an R. There's no in between.
Right, there's no in between.
Yeah.
But this could have passed as R.
I don't know. I don't
know how it didn't.
I think it's just because of the small amount. It only shows like 30 or like a minute 30 of actual violence. Like it shows the girl to start, which is probably the longest scene.
Yeah.
It shows Shaw at the end.
Any curse words in it? I
don't
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
I don't
curse
know.
words.
I don't know if they say the F word.
No, they do not.
I don't think
Not
they
the
ever
F
say
word.
F word. No.
But they say a few other ones.
This was 1970s though. I don't know.
It was the Wild Wild West, man. You could do whatever in a PG movie.
Wanted.
I mean, you can't even say shit in a PG movies these days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is nuts because you can say it on TV.
Right. Makes a lot of sense.
You can't. You're allowed to say 2 F words in a PG-13 movie.
Well, yeah, PG-13.
PG-13,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and Spielberg. We talk about how influential, but he invented they made PG-13 for Jurassic Park. Yeah. It's awesome.
God, Jurassic Park's a great film. Still holds up. I watched all 3 of them again. I watched all 3 of them on Netflix.
You know, the CGI looked way better on a VHS tape, I gotta say.
In the second one, at least.
No, even the first one.
I don't think so. I think
Netflix.
I think it still holds up.
I was like, I don't remember it looking quite so obvious.
Really? The way they used the T-Rex was perfect. They kept it dark. They kept it. I mean, for 1993, that CGI blows.
I noticed
that's
more
better
on
than
the Raptors.
most. That's better than most CGI.
It
I
is.
see.
Yeah.
Spielberg, he just knows.
He
gets it.
CGI was so new back then. They're originally going to make the dinosaurs claymation.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what they were originally.
That's a terrible idea. Terrible idea.
You know, and I watched the second Jurassic Park last week, and it just pissed me off more about the last Jurassic World because they totally should the beginning of that movie where they're hunting the dinosaurs is the best fucking part in that movie. And the
beginning of those movies are always the best part.
Well, I know, but they could have done that so awesomely in Jurassic World where they're going and tracking down these certain dinosaurs, but they just go straight to Blue and get them, and then it's all fucked from there.
I talk a lot of shit about Jurassic Park 2, but it has some scenes that are very well done. The scenes where they're in the tall grass and the raptors are running around and you don't know where they are. That scene is awesome.
Yeah.
But the CGI in it was bad, man. Spielberg, you suck.
Whoa.
Damn.
Unpopular opinion. Throwing shade.
I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
No. Was there anything else we can say about Jaws that has been said?
I don't think so, man.
If you're going to see a summer blockbuster movie, see Mission Impossible, then go back and watch Jaws.
Go watch Jaws,
I'm sure you can see Jaws anywhere now.
Where can they find this?
Amazon?
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
You betcha.
But they play it on TV. I mean,
constantly,
every
especially
the whole reason we have a Shark Week is because of this movie. The whole reason there's any interest in sharks at all.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason so many people kill them.
I was going to say, the only reason why hundreds of millions of sharks have been killed recently.
Well,
in the last
that's not.
50
It's
years.
it's
no,
not.
it's not the only reason.
No.
Shark fin soup.
China does kill more than any. China, it's not even close.
They don't kill everything in the
they
water.
kill everything in the water, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's
Dolphin Cove.
This movie
have you
was,
watched that? I think that's Japan though. But Dolphin Cove, that's a gruesome documentary about dolphins.
Yeah.
They trap them in this cove and then just stab them to death. God.
Jesus.
Dude, no, my heart wrenched. And the ocean's just, that whole cove is just
There's
covered
a ton
in
of
blood.
pictures of them. Yeah.
It's the saddest thing ever, and you can hear the squeals or whatever you call them.
I don't even know. Isn't that like
terrible.
an old tradition though, or something? That's why they do it. I don't know what do you get out of killing a dolphin? I don't even know what part of it you use.
I think they just use the fins or whatever.
Well, I've never heard of a
Fucking
recipe.
pisses me off though.
Well, they used to put it in the tuna fish cans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
They don't do that
how long
anymore,
ago?
but
Yeah.
So sad. Dolphins are so intelligent too. It's a travesty.
You know,
The whole
dolphins kill people all the time.
thing. Say what?
Yep.
No.
Oh, in Florida all the time, because people are dumb. Dolphins are very intelligent.
Yeah, they're very intelligent.
Dolphins can be very mean to other animals too. Dolphins torture and stuff. They're that smart.
Mm-hmm.
But people will get close to a dolphin all the time, and dolphins will drag them down to the bottom.
Oh yeah.
They don't
Well,
eat
killer
'em.
whales do that too.
Yeah, and killer whales also eat people.
They eat them.
They're
Yeah.
also called killer whales, so probably don't go around.
But dolphins.
Well, they're called orcas, but yes.
Well, the
Yeah, I know.
street name.
But dolphins do. They
Street name. Like, yo, bro, I'm a killer whale. I ain't no orca, dog. I'm a killer whale.
There you go.
What you call me dog for, man? We're
That was
whales.
weird.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't like it.
Dogfish.
I don't like it, but yeah, dolphins can play too rough sometimes. They kill
Yeah.
people all the time. Because people see dolphins, I can swim with this thing.
Yeah.
And
This
dolphins,
isn't SeaWorld, bud.
dolphins are fucking strong too.
Yes,
They're
they
all
are.
muscle.
They're super
all
strong.
muscle. Yeah.
I partook in a dolphin experience once and
Well,
held
yeah.
on, and they just take you, and I'm like, whoa.
But that was part of like a swimming thing or something, was it?
Well, no,
Was there
but
a
I'm
wild
just
dog?
demonstrating.
Yeah,
They were just
You didn't
demonstrating
go
how
jump
strong
in,
it
yeah.
was.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
No, I did jump in with them. Like, swam with them.
I know, but you
But
didn't
no.
like see a school of dolphins out in the ocean and be like,
No,
I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm just making the point that the dolphin was super strong.
Yeah, I
Hell,
know, I
yeah.
know.
I was just
Yeah.
clarifying your point.
I'm clarifying in that sense, it's okay to swim with a dolphin.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell everyone to.
If you're on
I mean, even though-
vacation
they're
and you're
in
like, hey, there's a
captivity
dolphin.
still.
Yeah, even though they could kill you too, but the dolphins that kill are the wild ones usually.
Yeah.
Wild animals are wild. There's your breaking news.
Dolphins fucking fight sharks too. They're
They
crazy.
kill
Yes,
sharks.
they do. They kill
Yeah,
them.
they gang up on them, man.
Yeah, they do.
I'm telling you, man.
Sharks are dumb.
If fucking animals are gonna take over, it's gonna be the dolphins.
But
It's
if
a
you see
possibility.
dolphins, you don't have to worry about sharks.
See, dolphins are sort of they get recreational high. They'll pass around a pufferfish and breathe
Yes.
in and out, and they'll get high from it. And they'll pass. Yeah, is that crazy?
Damn. Pufferfish, man. You're a ballsy individual if you eat a pufferfish.
That's
Because if you cut even like a half quarter
That's a big
inch
thing
wrong,
in China too.
I
Yeah.
know. They're just toying with death, man.
It's
They just
supposed to-
enjoy it.
It's supposed to like make your tongue numb or something because how poisonous they are.
Right. It'll kill you instantly. If
That's
you eat the
one
wrong
thing
part.
I
You
would
really
just-
got to trust
Yeah,
that chef, man. You're trusting that dude. with
How
your
bad
life.
do you want to eat a pufferfish? Where
Right.
you even? I mean, there's some things I will try, but I
Not a
can't
pufferfish.
I'm
roll
not
the
going
dice
to try
on-
something
it's
that
not-
might
it's
kill
not.
me.
I've never heard it was like the best thing ever.
Right.
It would have to be the best meal in the world for me to have a 50% chance of not walking away from it.
Yeah.
They're crazy. Old traditions.
Weird.
Throw
Some
'em.
of them never die.
Most of them are dumb.
Yes.
And what sucks is most people are traditional and dumb. So they
At the
keep,
same time, yeah.
they keep those things going. But I thought that at least China was like stopping shark fin soup and everything, which is a good part.
That's
guess.
good.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
they killed most of them.
Most of them, they're all gone now.
Yeah,
but
maybe that's
thanks.
why they're stopping.
They're all on the endangered list. No, they're not. But yeah, no.
But I fucking love sharks. It would be heartbreaking to see them go in. Especially because they've been around for millions of years.
Dude, we are
Since the
seriously
dawn of
polluting
time.
the fuck out of the ocean, though.
Yeah.
Have you
Is this
seen the
news to
videos?
you? Yeah.
No, but God, man.
Well, it's a lot worse in other countries.
Yeah,
even though
yeah, it
America's doing their share.
Their part, yeah.
And we do ship a lot of garbage over to other countries. But it's tourist
Here,
destinations.
take this.
It's tourist destinations
Right.
like Bali, Indonesia, and stuff.
Yep. It's awful, man. There's
Rivers
like
of
there's a 100
garbage.
square mile area where it's just completely covered. There's this kid, he was on Rogan's podcast, or Rogan was talking about him, where he's making this invention where it's picking up plastic and like
Yeah,
within 3
I think I
years
saw
it'll
that, yeah.
clean it up. But that 100 square miles, but
Oh, yeah, there's an island of garbage floating in the ocean. A
Yeah.
huge
Garbage
one.
Island.
Garbage
yeah.
Island, yeah.
I'd love to vacation there
Ridiculous.
someday.
It'd be great, wouldn't it?
You could probably buy it for cheap. You can live on it. It's an actual, like, big enough island. I think
Yeah.
he has his own ecosystem at this
Probably.
point.
Man, I think sad.
Yeah. It sucks
What have we
that-
done to the
It
earth?
sucks that until recently we're starting to figure out garbage just doesn't go away when you stop
No,
seeing it.
it doesn't. It doesn't.
I love watching Mad Men because in Mad Men they do such a good job of like doing the 60s. Well, I'll never forget this scene where they're all at a picnic outside in a park, and at the end he just grabs the blanket and just goes with all the trash.
I remember that
And he
scene,
goes-
yes.
And then he goes, "Okay, kids, let's
Yep.
go." They just leave.
So
It's so
true.
much trash
Yep.
too. It's so funny. Yeah.
Captures the 60s perfect.
How shitty people used to be, or still are.
Yeah, still are.
Yeah.
Especially 4th of July down at the beaches, man.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's
yeah.
it's ridiculous. It's embarrassing.
You got to give it to
It's
Oregon. Oregon
embarrassing.
does a good job of at least trying to keep their beaches
Yeah.
clean. They take pride in that, but a lot of people People are just so careless.
They're stupid.
4th of July and period. Go around the streets and everything. Yeah.
I don't even partake in the fireworks. Or
if I do, I make
stupid,
a thing to clean up for sure.
Right.
It makes a huge mess. But I swear, if I go down my neighborhood, there's still a guy that has all his like mortars and stuff outside, but he's just waiting for them to disappear. Yeah.
See, but
it's not biodegradable, bro.
In our community, we have 4th of July, and then like the next weekend is neighborhood cleanup, so it's all gone.
A week later?
Seems like it either. It might be gone by the weekend. The wind will take it. The animals will have ate it by then.
Hopefully they'll eat it by then.
We have a.
You don't let it sit there. You pick up the big stuff. And then there's a neighborhood cleanup afterwards. You're never going to pick it all up the first day. You're
I know.
See
we just appreciate you doing your time. A week later,
do it.
Well, we do.
No, fuck that. I don't own a house there.
Are they your fireworks? Are you cleaning up after yourself?
I haven't lit off fireworks in 10 years.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Good for you.
Oh, I lit off
You'll
some.
blow off a hand.
I lit all kinds of shit up this year.
Okay. Well, we have anything else on Jaws or the 4th of July?
It's getting hotter.
It's getting really hot. The studio light is warm as fuck. I'm sweating, dude. All right.
Like burning up. It is warm.
It's really warm. Yeah. In between podcast episodes next time, I'll open that door. We'll turn on a fan.
But, yeah, we don't need
because ironically enough, we have AC down here now, but...
And we're not using it?
But there is an event in here, right?
No, because it's out there. It's a portable one, which sucks. But anyway, have you seen a podcast? That's the name of us. YouTube, HYSI, hashtag, followed by any episode you're looking for. Instagram, have you seen it? Twitter, seen it podcast. Michael's on Twitter, what the fuck 63. Cash is on Twitter, that's just Cash. We're on Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud. And that's about it. So until next time.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.